Hey, what's up guys? Matt here with Fix Anything Save Money. Today we're going to be showing you how to tune up this Echo PB-580T backpack leaf blower. So we're going to be walking you through all the steps of the yearly maintenance, what I recommend doing every year to keep your Echo backpack blower running great. So the tools we're going to need a ratchet with a 13/16 socket. As you can see, this is a spark plug socket. It's got that little rubber gasket in there to grab the plug. And then the other thing we're going to need is just a flathead. And then I recommend picking up one of these carburetor tune-up kits. They're just really great. They have, the carburetor along with everything that you're going to need for the basic tune-up. So you get the carburetor in case your carburetor ever goes, you have a replacement, and they're a really, really great value. Okay, so the first thing we're going to show you is the air filter. So you can see here, there's a screw right here, and then there's a screw underneath right here. These two orange knobs loosen to remove this housing and expose the air filter. So we'll go ahead and show you that. And I recommend doing this every year just because, it's going to keep your blower running great year in, year out. Okay, so you can see here we have the air filter exposed. So we would just remove this and replace it with our new one from our kit. We're not going to go through that step because this is a new blower. I'm just kind of getting to know this blower, and then I'm making videos just showing you guys, the maintenance. And I also have videos up on this on how to replace the carburetor. So I'll put a link right in the top right hand corner on how to replace the carburetor on this. And then I also have a video up just on the walkthrough, all the features, how to start it, how to install the tubes, everything like that. So I do have 2 other videos up on this. This is just the basic tune-up video. Okay, so now that we got our air filter back in, we could go ahead and put our cover back on. Notice how the ribs go on the bottom. So you just put that on, tighten it down. Okay, so that is the first thing I like to do when I do the tune-up. And the second thing I like to do is replace the fuel filter. So to get to the fuel filter, this is very easy to do on these. You're just going to lift this little rubber gasket, grommet, whatever you want to call it, up. Lift it up out of the tank and then pull these lines out, and you're going to expose the fuel filter. So we'll show you what that looks like with the replacement real quick. Okay, so here's the replacement filter, and then we'll show you kind of how to remove this. So this, I like to kind of remove it. Just get a flathead and just stick it in the edge and kind of pry it down in there deep just to get it up, and then kind of lift up on this whole thing as you're pulling it out. And that just kind of prevents you from sticking it in there and damaging this rubber gasket. But if you do, the nice thing about these kits is they give you an extra one in the kit as well. They also give you fuel lines, spark plug, gaskets. They even give you these priming bulbs. So I recommend picking up one of these kits because it has all the extra parts you're going to need. Okay, so now we have this up, and we could just pull our fuel filter out. And this, you could either take a small little flathead and pry it out like that. Okay, and then take your new one. So we would take our new one, put it back in, but this one's still good, so we're just going to use this one for now. Okay, and then that just slides right back over, and then you just drop it back into the tank, and then just kind of push this back in, get it seated back in. You might need a screwdriver again to kind of push it into place, just to get it seated all the way. Okay, so you can see that's flush with the tank now. All right, and now the last thing I like to do is replace the spark plug. So you can see here, they even give you a replacement spark plug. And all you do, like I said, these Echoes are really nice to work on because everything's exposed. It's out in the open. Like usually with these caps, there's like a little shroud or something covering it, and you can't really get your hands in there to lift the cap off. But these are nice because they're easy to work on. So you could just pull these caps off. That comes off real easy. Or if it's not coming off easy, you could kind of take a screwdriver and pry it up from this boot up. But with all the room they give you, you could get two hands on it and pull it straight up. Okay, so there's what the spark plug looks like. Like I said, we're just going to need our 13/16 spark plug socket or just a regular socket, and we're just going to put it in, and we're just going to loosen it by turning it counterclockwise. Okay, and once it's loose, you could just remove the rest of it by hand. Okay, and then we would take our new spark plug, put that back on, tighten it, then rotate it clockwise. And you don't want those spark plugs crazy tight. You don't want them stripping off inside the head. So you want them tight but not crazy. You don't want to go crazy with them. And then just put your cap back on. Push it down till you kind of hear a little, almost like a little click. Okay, and that pretty much sums up everything I like to do on the yearly maintenance. Other things I kind of check for, make sure there's no debris in the tank. You could clean out the tanks. I also like to inspect the fuel lines on all my machines, make sure my fuel lines aren't getting, corroded or anything like that, or weakened. And then I also like to inspect the priming bulb. You can see on this blower, the priming bulb on the carburetor kind of sits underneath it. So there's the priming bulb. Those also get dry rotted along with the fuel lines. So I like to take a look at all those. Anything that holds fuel is going to dry rot eventually. So I like to look at all that. And like I said, the kit that Hypa makes, this kit right here, they even give you priming bulbs so you could replace whatever. And it's just great to have all those extra parts in case you need them. So I kind of, whenever I buy a machine, I buy the carb and the part kit, and then I just have it in case I ever need it. I just put it on the shelf, label what it is, and it comes in really handy. So that pretty much sums up the yearly maintenance for what I do on these to keep them running great. So if you guys have any questions, be sure to reach out in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Otherwise, if you found this video helpful, I'd appreciate it if you gave it a like, subscribe to the channel, check out all my other tool and DIY videos. And yeah, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.